Number 1. The red light that started from a deadly intersection red, a color that commands attention, signals stop, and promises safety. But traffic lights weren't always common. In the early 20th century, intersections were chaotic jungles of horses, carriages, and the first automobiles. Collisions were frequent and often fatal. The turning point came in 1914 in Cleveland, Ohio. A driver ran a busy intersection, striking a pedestrian who would not survive. Newspapers sensationalized the accident. Public outrage surged, and the city scrambled for a solution. Engineers designed the first electric traffic signal to prevent another death. It wasn't about efficiency. It was about survival, a single lost force in the hand of law. Every red light you obey is a memorial to someone who didn't make it. Number 2. Seatbelt laws born from a single fatal accident. Seatbelts feel routine now, an almost unconscious click before driving. But their legal enforcement began with tragedy. In the 1950s, car crashes claimed thousands of lives each year. Few wore restraints, and dashboards were deadly. The turning point? A horrific collision in Sweden. A man survived, but his wife did not thrown violently through the windshield. Her death sparked public outrage and inspired engineer Nils Bohlin to design the three-point seatbelt. When Volvo began installing it in cars, data revealed thousands of lives saved annually. Lawmakers quickly followed, mandating seatbelt use. Every click today is not convenience, it's survival distilled into a simple strap. Number 3. Child labor restrictions after the fire that took young lives. Factories once rang with the laughter of children and the cries of the injured. In the late 19th century, industrial towns relied on child labor. Tiny hands operated dangerous machines for minimal pay, often unsupervised. The turning point came in 1911, the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire in New York City. Flames trapped hundreds, many of them teenage girls. Doors were locked, exits blocked, and the city watched in horror as children perished in smoke and fire. Outrage forced lawmakers to act. Child labor laws, fire safety codes, and workplace inspections became mandatory. Every regulation protecting a young worker today echoes the screams of those who couldn't escape. Number 4. Tamper-proof medication laws. Because of a poison capsule, you twist a bottle of pills. Hear the satisfying crack. And trust what's inside. That trust exists because it was shattered violently in 1982. 7 people in Chicago died after taking Tylenol capsules laced with cyanide. Panic swept the city, and nation realized that ordinary could conceal murder. The tragedy forced lawmakers and manufacturers to act. Tamper-evident packaging became mandatory. Seals, foil lids, and breakable bands were designed to stop someone else from turning a daily routine into a death sentence. Each pill you take safely today carries the echo of a capsule that killed. Safety, it seems, often grows from horror. Number 5. Jaywalking bans after streets became killing fields. Crossing the street once felt innocent, a casual step between sidewalks. But in the early 20th century, streets became battlefields. Automobiles multiplied faster than regulations, and pedestrians were killed at alarming rates. Chicago, 1910s. One afternoon, a child darted across a busy avenue and was struck fatally by a speeding car. Public outcry erupted. Families demanded accountability. Cities responded by formalizing pedestrian rules, the first jaywalking laws. Those white lines on the asphalt aren't arbitrary. They are monuments to lives lost while ordinary citizens simply try to get home. Every cautious step today is the echo of someone who didn't make it. Number 6. Elevator safety regulations. Following a plunge that killed elevators feel mundane, even comforting, whisking us between floors without a thought. But before safety standards, a single cable failure could be fatal. In the 19th century, plunging elevator platforms claimed lives in department stores and factories alike. One public tragedy changed everything. A crowded New York department store elevator fell, killing several patrons. The incident was splashed across newspapers, shocking the city into action. Inventors responded with safety brakes, automatic locks, and rigorous inspections, all mandated by law. Every smooth ascent today is owed to those who fell. Comfort, it turns out, is measured in the lives that came before us. Number 7. Internet privacy rules. From a catastrophic identity theft, you share personal details online, everyday email, purchases, even your home address. But the rules protecting that information exist because of catastrophe. In the 1990s, a teenager in California stole identities of thousands, opening bank accounts, maxing credit cards, and leaving victims bankrupt. The chaos exposed glaring legal gaps. Nothing existed to prevent, track, or punish such digital crimes effectively. Lawmakers acted quickly, crafting privacy regulations and security standards. Today, encryption, consent forms, and data protection laws exist because someone exploited our digital trust. Every click you take safely, every password you enter securely, is a reaction to past violation, a lesson carved from havoc. Number 8. Banning poison candy, a Halloween murder that shocked the town. Halloween is supposed to be fun, costumes, laughter, and candy. But in 1974, a small town in California learned that sweetness could hide death. A stranger laced candy with cyanide, and a child died after biting into a poison treat. Panic spread, and parents became terrified of ordinary holidays. The tragedy forced lawmakers to ban unverified candy distribution and set strict packaging regulations. Candy now comes in sealed wrappers, labeled and inspected. Every chocolate you hand to a child today is wrapped in caution, a simple treat. And yet, once, it could have been a weapon. Number 9. Stricter gun storage laws after a child found a loaded weapon. A locked gun cabinet feels like common sense now. But it wasn't always a legal expectation. Tragedy shaped the law. In the 1980s, a curious 5-year-old discovered a loaded firearm in a neighbor's home. The child accidentally fired, killing a sibling. Headlines screamed, communities panicked, and legislators faced a grim reality. Firearms without secure storage were silent killers. Stricter storage laws followed trigger locks, safes, and mandatory education programs. Every safely stored weapon today is a law written in grief, a reminder that negligence can be fatal. Safety is not optional. It was demanded by horror. Number 10. Seatbelt and airbag mandates. Tragedy rewritten into law. Airbags and seatbelts feel routine now, automatic, almost invisible guardians of survival. But each regulation enforcing their presence came from watching lives vanish in collisions. In the 1960s, countless drivers and passengers died in crashes that could have been survivable. One fatal crash in Sweden, where a family perished due to a lack of restraints, sparked a global movement. Engineers, lawmakers, and safety advocates worked together, turning tragedy into mandatory standards. Every airbag that deploys, every seatbelt that clicks, carries a memory of those who didn't make it. Laws like these exist not for convenience, but because horror demanded change. Conclusion: laws born from horror. Every rule we follow, from stopping at red lights to locking away firearms, carries a shadow. They weren't conceived in comfort or convenience. They were written in tragedy, often after someone died, suffered, or was exploited. Child-proof caps, tamper-proof packaging, elevator brakes, privacy regulations each exist because horror forced society to act. Ordinary routines hide extraordinary origins. Each law is a memorial, a quiet acknowledgement of lives lost to negligence, cruelty, or chance. The next time you obey a rule that feels mundane, remember, it wasn't invented for convenience. It was designed to prevent history from repeating itself, a subtle, eerie reminder that safety is often forged in the aftermath of horror.